This is Cal Sajed for the Boxing Shorts. With me I've got Joe Hughes. Joe, big fight coming up. What do you make of your opponent, Jack?
Yeah, massive fight coming up for me. Jack's a very, very good fighter. There's a lot of hype around him, and he's earned it. And it's going to be a big fight. I think a really exciting fight. He's a come forward fighter. He's strong, powerful, skillful as well. And I think our styles will match up very well, and it'll be a really, really entertaining fight.
And what weaknesses do you see in Jack's game?
I don't know if he's got really any glaring weaknesses. Obviously, I'm going to try and find some during the fight, but I don't think there's anything glaringly that he does wrong or has any massive weaknesses, to be honest.
So tell me a bit about your career so far and how you've got to this point.
Right, well, I started off when I turned pro after winning the senior ABA, so I turned pro in 2010 with Frank Maloney. I only had 5 fights with him, and I lost the 5th one against Joe Hughes. I didn't think I lost the fight, but it was a good fight. Been trying to get a rematch ever since, and he said if I win the British title, he'll give me a rematch. So if I win this, I get a shot for the British and maybe get a rematch. But yeah, then we sort of had to rebuild my career under my new manager, trainer Andy O'Kane. I won the Southern area. Well, started off with the Masters, then won the Southern area, then the IBO International, and then the English a couple of fights ago, and defended the English since, and now getting onto a big stage.
You mentioned you started your career with Frank Maloney, now Kelly. Did that come as a bit of a shock to you, and are you still in touch with Kelly?
Yeah, it wasn't a big shock. I didn't see it coming at all, but no, I'm not in touch with him or her at all. I haven't spoke since since I was signed with them. So
you mentioned your amateur career there. In the news lately, there's been the talk of allowing professionals to fight in the Olympics. What do you make of that, first of all?
It's a strange one. They make some funny decisions. The amateur, the world governing body of the amateurs, and it's a bit weird for me. It's sort of a thing when you're an amateur. The pinnacle of the amateur code is to win your Olympic gold medal, and that's what everyone in the amateurs aims for. And then you turn pro. So to bring pros into it seems a bit strange to me. I don't really think it will happen that much in this country. GB invests so much into their amateur boxers. I think it's a bit strange if they all of a sudden recruited some of the pros to box in the amateurs. And I think a lot of people are saying, oh well, the pros will be too much for the amateurs. I don't think that's right either. Pros are used to fighting 12 rounds, steady pace going for 12 rounds, whereas the top level amateurs are working flat out for 3 threes, and that's their game. It's a different sport. So I don't think I've read a few things where people said, oh, it's unfair, the pros will just destroy the amateurs. I don't think that's the case either, but it is a strange one.
So do you not think it could be dangerous for somebody, especially at the higher weights, where one punch can potentially end a life? Do you think it would be dangerous for somebody who's a bit of a novice?
I don't think if you're in the Olympic Games you're going to be a novice. If you're one of the top amateur boxers in the world as a heavyweight, you're not a novice. Do you know what I mean? And yeah, maybe fighting some of them if some of the countries enter someone who's not really at that level in the Olympics, which sometimes you do from the more obscure countries, then that's where it could be dangerous. But I think that could be dangerous against, say, you've got a top Cuban fighting someone like that anyway. It could be dangerous. And most injuries in boxing are the long fights where fighters are going into them dehydrated and take a lot of shots and things like that. So fingers crossed. You don't see that many injuries in amateur boxing, so fingers crossed it'll stay that way.
Okay, and coming back to your fight on May the 13th, what will you do from now until then?
Just train hard, just keep working hard. I'll do that, that's all I'll do anyway. Concentrate on Jack. It's a very, very tough fight for me. It's the biggest fight of my life so far. So I'm going to just be 100% focused on it. Train really, really hard in the gym. Do everything right outside the gym, get the right rest, eat properly, everything like that, and give it my all.
It's an eliminator for the British title, which I believe it's Tyrone Nurse and Willie Limond are fighting for later this month. Are you looking at that fight, or are you just concentrating on this one now?
Well, the British title is my goal. When I turned pro, I wanted to win the British title. That was something I've always wanted to do ever since I started boxing when I was a kid. But I'm not looking at that now. I'm solely focused on this fight. Even though obviously the British title is a goal, I'm completely focused on this fight. I'm not thinking what's next for me. I'm 100% focused on May the 13th.
Cheers, Joe. Best of luck.
Thanks very much.